Wake up, Toronto. I'm your host, Miss Bollywood. It's 5 a.m. on Friday, February the 1st, 2019. That's crazy how fast we already are in month 2 of this year. Let's check in with weather. It's minus 20 right now, but does feel like minus 30 degrees Celsius. Although skies are mainly clear, it will be partly cloudy up until mid-morning. Then we're looking at temperatures moving up around, let's say 4 p.m. to minus 12 degrees. Not bad. And say hello to lots of sunshine. Let's hope it melts the stacks of snow along the roads, which does make it pretty difficult to drive in your far right lanes. As usual, dress warm because it is bitterly cold outside. Public transit systems seem to be running smoothly and on time. And I hope your Friday is so far off to a fantastic start. For me, I can say that leaving the house this morning was a real drag. I mean, there was so much snow that after all this shoveling for the last couple of days, there was a very narrow walkway to get to my driveway and to my car. The rest of the area around and along the house is packed with snow. And I'm a little clumsy, so I kind of tripped and lost balance. One of my legs went into the deep snowbank that we have going on, which, by the way, came up to about my waist. And that's straight up short people problems, y'all. So anyways, there I was, one leg completely wet. But as uncomfortable as I was feeling, there was no way I was going back into the house, removing layers just to put on new ones. So instead, I sat in my car, hoping the heat would warm me up and dry my clothes. I shouldn't be complaining though, because I'm sure some of you guys have experienced much worse. I'm just hoping you all get to where you need to be, safe and sound. Toronto has been hit hard with the unbelievable frigid weather, and people are also falling sick, including myself. It's so cold that I find myself making a cup of honey lemon tea every hour. Not that I need it, I just do it so I can hold something that keeps my hands warm. Real talks, I have horrible blood circulation that my hands and feet are always cold, even in the summertime. Let me just move on from my troubles and hit you guys with some good stuff. I'm sure you've heard that Cardi B and Offset are back together. There has been news circulating that they both are working on things. All I gotta say to that is, ew. But seriously, I'm happy that as grown-ups, they are talking it through and taking small steps. Real relationships are meant to be worked on as a team. Plus, they got a gorgeous baby daughter, and right now, culture needs both parents involved as much as possible. I also think that tabloids cause a lot of stress for famous people by hyping on things or adding fake facts to a story. I mean, these celebrities are just like us. They have feelings and go through the same issues. So leave them alone and let them heal, nosy paparazzi. Oh, now, a couple of days ago, on Wednesday, January 30th, it was the annual Bell Let's Talk Day, and that raised, in one day alone, $7.2 million for mental health initiatives. That is awesome. They beat previous records because of the power of social media and the users behind it who shared posts to end the stigma surrounding mental health. Since the launch of the cause in 2011, the program has now raised, wait for it, $100,695,763. That is remarkable. Since we are on the topic of mental health, I thought I'd share my own story. Growing up and in school, I was the kid that was picked on and taken advantage of. Even though I maintained a tough exterior, I was very much shattered on the inside and at some point had suicidal thoughts. I speak more about that traumatic time in my Dear Superstars audiobook if you want to have a listen. It is available on my YouTube channel under podcasts. But I thought I'd share a rather recent experience. I'm going to add a disclaimer that the descriptions will be graphic and may upset you, and to listen to the story at your own discretion. About a year ago, I felt that time was moving fast and I was getting nowhere. I had lost a job which meant no income. I was living with my parents and was dependent on them for paying for my expenses. I had student government-funded loans that I wasn't nearly finished paying off yet. I was applying for jobs in the meantime within my field, and I wasn't getting hired. So I applied for the typical customer service jobs that I did have 8+ years of expertise in while I was going to university. But even then, no luck. Oh, and let me add this. I was also 28, almost 30 years old. Usually, if you don't have your life together at this point, society frowns on you. As each day passed, I was getting less hopeful and ambitious. I felt like a loser, and because of that, chose to push people out of my circle and from communicating with me. I stayed in my room and just wanted to sleep all day. I chose to dream because it took me away from my reality. Soon, depression and anxiety kicked in. It hovered over me like a dark cloud. I remember waking up most nights, panicking and covered in sweat because I had dreamt that I was a nobody. Nothing could get better because I didn't believe that it could. Seeing other people out in the world posting photos of them conquering goal after goal made me feel even worse, not for them, but for my own shortcomings. This was the end of the line for me, and so I started to write. It was a goodbye letter to my family and to the world I once felt like I belonged to. All these emotions were spilling out. I couldn't stop. I remember telling them that I love them, I'll miss them, and that I'm sorry I was a failure. Even though they always said they were happy with all that I had accomplished and knew I would overcome this difficult time because I was strong enough to get back up on my feet. To me, it all sounded like formulated cliches written out and printed on a Hallmark card. I had no clue how or where I was going to do it. At times I was afraid, and at others, I was numb. To top it off, I would pretend on social media that all was good and I was so happy. My Wise Wednesday quotes that I created to motivate others were tragic because I was unable to uplift myself with the poetic and meaningful words I used. Not one person was able to see right through me because I hid it so well. And not too long after, I remember being home alone. I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to do the unspeakable. I went downstairs and my eyes fell upon a photo album. I don't know why. And so I picked it up from the coffee table, sat down on the couch, and started looking through it. There were snapshots with my brother from Christmases, dance recitals, birthdays, ones with me and my parents, and ones at the zoo. At that moment, I started to cry uncontrollably. A few hours went by and I was still sobbing, really loud. My eyes began to ache and my head was pulsating. I drank 2 bottles of water and had a couple Tylenol 3s until I realized I couldn't follow through with my plan. I wanted to live, and I needed help. Things must change, I told myself, and I was willing to work towards speaking up about it and moving forward. Within that year, my life did a complete 360. I did get a job, but I was still working towards my dream job. Emotionally, I was much better and was taking it day by day. Now, on the worst days where I'm not okay, I'm glad I have met people and have people in my life who are there for me to help me get through. My message to you guys is the mind is a powerful thing. It can lead you down all sorts of paths. At times you may know the purpose behind how you feel, while at others the cause could be unknown. Understand that your mental health is a journey, and it's your journey. You hold the process to your healing, and how you do it is your own choice. If you think meditation or exercise is the avenue, do it. If you think speaking to someone or texting a hotline helps, do it. If you think physically being hugged or spending time with a friend or loved one is what you need, go for it. If you think just sitting in silence with someone you care about works, make it happen. Don't give up on yourself. For many of us struggling with mental health, know that it may never be completely over or go away. In fact, it's a part of who we are, and we require those around us to be a bit more patient and caring when being with us. I urge everyone to check up on one another. Even the most successful and smiling individuals may be fighting a difficult battle. That one conversation can lead to appreciation and also pave a whole new road to recovery. Believe it or not, it can also deter someone who may be thinking about ending their life. Lots of love and light to all of you. Now, I know it's not the best way to close the segment, and I have been saying that a lot lately. But just as funny stories brighten up your day, it's important to look at the darker ones, to learn, be inspired, and move forward. If you have your own experiences or stories you'd like to share with me, or just need someone to talk to, send an email to missbollywoodproductions@gmail.com. I'd love to hear your responses and start up a conversation. So enjoy your weekend, everyone, and I'll be waiting for you bright and early on Wake Up Toronto to kickstart off your Monday. Much love from me to you, Miss Bollywood. Out.